Maritzburg Power Podcast viewers, I'm Kizelena Umangunezi. Today it's a very special day for us as we highlight and discover Maritzburg with its education, businesses, tourism, and so forth. Today I have one of those departments in terms of highlighting e-tourism within the city and surroundings. I have a director, Mr Mhlongo from Maritzburg Tourism, who's going to explain us more. We always say ukuthi kunani eMaritzburg, but then namhlanje siphethe umuntu owazi ngempela history behind Maritzburg and surroundings. Ukuthi why you deserve to come to Maritzburg, why should you be part of Maritzburg, why should you work, play in Maritzburg and surroundings. Sawubona baba Mhlongo. Unjani? Siyaphila. Ubaba Mhlongo, just in brief, please describe Maritzburg for us.
Well, I think I always want to describe Maritzburg by key selling propositions. I think the three of them.
Yeah.
One is the heritage. If you look at the architecture of the city, the colonial past is present there. And of course, in terms of heritage, there's liberation history that Maritzburg enjoys. I mean, if you look at the national agenda of liberation, so many people were contributed. Maritzburg contributed so many people, even in 1912 when the ANC was formed. So that's one aspect of it. But the other aspect is events. You would know that you can think of any signature event. We've got it here in Maritzburg, and mostly international events.
Yes.
So that's one aspect. But also business. Because you remember that we are the seat of the legislature of the province. So there's a lot of government business that happens here. But we also have quite a few of listed companies in Maritzburg. So we do find that a lot of people travel to Maritzburg just to do business. So that's one thing. But there are other things. I mean, we've got the best schools in Maritzburg, as you would know.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, so there's one aspect that really makes people interested in
Maritzburg. And when Mr Mhlongo talks about schools, it's the best in the country. Should I add that? Okay, so what is the most focus that in your department specifically focuses on? And what's the most highlighting factor that we should look out for as you navigate and obviously try to get people into Maritzburg?
Well, it's about destination marketing. I mean, it's about really saying what is in Maritzburg. That's one aspect. It is about product promotions, because in Maritzburg there's a lot of tourism business owners that exist here. But we promote the destination and individual businesses that benefit
out of it.
People are interested in Maritzburg because then they will be wanting to use services that are in Maritzburg. But there's another aspect that is very, very probably close to my heart, the aspect of transformation, which speaks to more people coming into the sector, and how are those people assisted. Remember that the sector is got two main things. One is food service, but the other one is that the sector is highly regulated. So we've got to, when there are people that are wanting to come to the sector, they need to be assisted in order to ultimately also own tourism products. So that's the transformation side. And I think the white paper of 1996, the tourism white paper, spoke at length about the lack of transformation of the sector already there. So it's a at a national level there's a reflection to say from 1996 how far.
How far have you come?
Yeah, it's very important. Yes.
It is definitely because if you want to get investors in, how do you work around in terms of getting people into? I mean, the government to invest in its own. That's because you are investing on your own.
Sure.
But then, as you look at how far you've come, do you think ukusenfikile la benefits ukufika khona, or is it an ongoing discussion?
Far from it, it's an ongoing discussion. I mean, the second aspect that I spoke to has got so many things that needs to be dealt with. Remember that some of the things are things that we can't change because they are national issues. For example, we have got the BEE Charter for Tourism. I mean, I don't believe that it can make a difference in terms of transformation of the sector because I think it's more about product owners.
It's product specific.
Yeah, so we are saying that perhaps what was highlighted by the white paper is supposed to be guiding us to say where are we now in terms of each aspect that was highlighted in the but generally I think on the issue of investment, the same paper states that tourism is government-led, private sector-driven, and community-based. Now, it's government-led because government has a responsibility to make the environment conducive. And in this case, we're talking about the municipality, local government. So that when the environment is conducive, then there is a private sector person or a potential investor that will say, I want to invest because I can see, I can do business, it will be easy for me to do business and so on. But ultimately, all these things happen in communities. So there is jobs spin-off, for instance.
So, ngicabanga ukuthi ngiyayizwa onendlebe ngempela uyayizwa le. So we were faced with the looting in the past month. So how have we recovered from the looting? On top of the looting, we are in the corona, the pandemic. How is the sector iyalulama noma is it still being affected by this this incidents as well as the obviously the international pandemic?
Yeah, I think the recovery is happening. When you talk from looting July and its point of view, and there was so much disruption. I mean, you mentioned, I mean, as a sector we were not spared, but it was to a level where most of us didn't quite imagine, because then you have people, for example, in the sector of tourism, you've got crafters who actually would be there by the beach and by the malls and so on, selling. So they were disrupted, totally disrupted. When you have suddenly the mall that you used to go to and do your work, then it's no longer there the following day. So that's the extent. But I think at a larger level, when talking about COVID, it was a big thing, because you look at the fact that from the leisure point of view, there was no movement. In fact, if you look at the inbound and outbound in terms of traveling, I think in 2019, 2020, and so declined by 71%, because the borders were locked in. So that's what happened. And you also look at what we call the MICE, which is business tourism, the conferencing and the exhibitions and so on. Those did not happen. And then there was great loss in that space as well. But yes, there is recovery from what we are watching. And I think, by close of this year, we want to believe that we will be in a much better position as a sector.
Okay. As the committee, as the committee for COVID are in talks. I think they have a talk today, if I'm not mistaken. If the possibility of loosening the whole, opening the country at the total, do you think we'll be at a much better place, or should we continue with this, the levels, the restrictions that obviously protects us against this virus? Do you think are we gonna collapse when opening up the country?
I think in terms of the law, the state of emergency is finishing. Just this very soon.
Yes.
And I think the president will be making pronouncements. And the likelihood is that it's not going to be imposed, after this. So there is that opportunity. Perhaps we are too optimistic as tourism, but that's the sense we're getting. But in terms of the behavior of people after this, I want to believe that people have learned a lot, through this painful experience. And I always say that, one of the things that hits hard on a person is that freedom of movement taken away from that person.
Definitely.
It's a big thing. So I just want to believe that when people have the opportunity to be free, but behave, they will choose to behave. Really, so that they don't go back.
So that they don't go back to the restrictions. Most definitely. No, isibonge Mhlongo, but then manje, direct someone coming from, let's say, Johannesburg, from where they were going to stay to where they're going to be shopping and some entertainments. So what would you recommend in your city?
I think it would be too much on a very least level if we would do that, because then we would be talking about a pizza restaurant. We rather want to sell the destination. Experiences in Pietermaritzburg, these experiences, and so on. And one of the things that I think is important is that we don't really, as a destination, target individual travelers. Well, there would be, but most of the people that come to a destination, including Pietermaritzburg, are people that are pre-packaged. They could be coming from Australia, but because the sector is such that people are packaged, then they come all the way, and when they hit the ground, then they also have Pietermaritzburg pre-packaged for them. And that is where we see our approach is more business to business. So we are more interested to talk to tour operators, tour packagers, and so on. And that is why even the show like Indaba, which is coming back this year, was also a big void, because that is where we then, it's a business-to-business platform. We don't go there to speak to individuals.
And then it's business to business.
Yeah, we talk to tour operators and tour packagers from other countries to say when you package, come to package our way as well, etc. So that is how it works. But I mean, we've got so many experiences, and I think the architecture that I spoke to you about is just one of them. And PIETERMARITZBURg is unique with the lanes. At the moment, I think the city is working very, very hard to improve the outlook of the CBD, including dealing with the lanes and all these things that have been happening in the lanes. And so on.
I've seen the cleanup has been since ever since.
I'm happy if you acknowledge.
Definitely, I've seen the cleanup. I know people are a little bit skeptical in terms of that. Yes, the cleanup has been happening. If you go to Maritzburg page on Facebook, that you will see cleanup every day being posted there. Okay, I see Mr. Mhlongo is trying to be politically correct. I will not be politically correct. When you come down as a business, as a person to Maritzburg, we have your mall, Liberty Mall. We have with variety of shops. We have your Golden Horse Casino that has your casino, your accommodation, your restaurants, and so forth. We have also a black-owned, he's what's his name? Ilau. I just forgot his name. He owns a variety of groups of hotels, which are in and around PIETERMARITZBURg. So please, when you come through, as well as in terms of entertainment, there's a lot of it. There's this place called Spritz. There's a school, when you want to chill, and then if you want to tour in the township, there's a little bit of entertainment there as well. Your shisanyamas, your so forth, and there's one that comes to mind, which is I think it's spicy, juicy. Yeah, that's the name, juicy. Please come through. That one is in Ashdown. So yes, and the biggest one, obviously we have the museum, the marathon, the world-class marathon, which is complete marathon. We have the museum right not too far from Golden Horse Casino, that you can just pop in and just look at how far we come as a city, as a PIETERMARITZBURg. So thank you for joining me, and hopefully you're gonna enjoy the segment. And thank you for Mr. Mhlongo to ukuthi akwazi ukuthi afike kuthina azosibona azosichazela more about Maritzburg. Though I know what he wants to be politically correct, it's fine. I'm here for that. I'm your tour guide to PIETERMARITZBURg. Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right, thanks.